Hi, my name is Ying Gao and welcome to Dr. Gao's classroom. I'm a professional philosopher and I love classical Chinese poetry. I have been teaching and translating classical Chinese poetry for the last few years. I would love to share my knowledge on the subject with you. Your enjoyment is my command. Today, I'm going to translate a quite well-known love poem in the West in the title of 节妇吟, or the Chaste Wife's Reply. It is a poem composed by a poet from the Tang Dynasty in the name of Zhang Ji. The poem is translated into English and other languages many times. The British composer Norman Peterkin even composed a song adapting this poem as its lyrics. The poem is often read as a simple love poem of a lady who politely declined the unrequested affection of another man because she is already married. However, if you know when and why the poem was composed, it might surprise you that the poem was intended for a completely different purpose. If you're new to my channel, please check out my other videos on classical Chinese poetry and philosophy or medical literature. If you like the content of these videos, please click the like button and subscribe my channel. I also offer one-to-one online lessons on these subjects. If you would like to read this original text with me, please contact me. Here's my email address. Before I read and translate the poem, I would like to present a very brief biography of the poet Zhang Ji. Zhang Ji was a scholar official and, of course, a poet of late Tang Dynasty. In 796 AD, Zhang Ji met another well-known scholar official and poet, Meng Jiao, in Hezhou or the He County. In 798 AD, he was introduced to a senior official, Han Yu, a well-known poet and scholar official, by Meng Jiao. Han Yu recognized Zhang Ji's talent and recommended Zhang Ji to the emperor. So Zhang Ji passed the national level civil service examination and obtained the title of Jin Shi, or the imperial scholar, in 799. Please remember the name of Han Yu. I would mention how he was involved in the story later. In 806 AD, Zhang Ji was appointed as Taichangshi Taizhu, the grand priest with the code of imperial sacrifices. He also met Bai Ji and was influenced by Bai Ji's poetic style. If you would like to check out Bai Ji's poems, I made quite a few videos about Bai Ji and his poetry. Here's the link to my very first video about Bai Ji. In 821 AD, Zhang was appointed as a temporary official at the Irrigation and Transport Department, or 水部员外郎, recommended by Han Yu again, and soon promoted to be a permanent staff at the department. In 828 AD, he was transferred to the Royal Academy and appointed as Vice-Chancellor of the Royal Academy. His best-known poems include A Song from the Frontier, Lament of a Wife of a Drafted Soldier, Song of Lotus Seed Collector, and A Song from Yangtze River, etc. So he was quite an influential poet from the Tang Dynasty. Now, let me read the poem in Chinese first. 君之妾有妇，正妾双明珠。感君缠绵意，寄在红罗襦。妾家高楼连苑起，良人知己明光里。知君用心如日月，是父是你同生死。还君明珠双泪垂，恨不相逢未嫁时。 Now, let's look at the first 4 lines. 君之妾有夫，正妾双明珠。感君缠绵意，寄在红罗襦。君 means you, 知 means know. 妾 is used as a self-reference here, so David and I translate it as I. 有 means have. 夫 means husband. 正 means send. 妾 is a self-reference again, so we translate it as me. 双 means twin. 明珠 means lustrous pearl. 感 means touched by. 君 means your. 缠绵 literally means entangled, but it also refers to the tender feelings lovers have for each other. So we translate this as love. 意 means intention. 寄在 means tied to. 红 means red. 罗 refers to a very thin translucent silk. I just posted a short video clip about the many different kinds of silk from ancient China. If you would like to know what 罗 is like, here's the link. 如 means where. So the 4 lines can be translated as, knowing clearly I've got a husband, still twin pearls you sent to my hand. Deeply touched by your love, dear, I kept them in my red silk wear. 妾家高楼连苑起，良人子己明光里。妾 means my, 家 means home, 高 means high, 楼 means mansion, 连 means jointed by, 苑 means garden, 起 means rise. 良人 is an endearing name a woman calls her husband. So we translate it as my man. 子 means hold. 己 refers to halberd. 明光 is the name of a royal palace. 里 means neighborhood. So the 2 lines read, where we live is a mansion mighty, while my man is guarding his majesty. 知君用心如日月，是父是你同生死。知 means know. 君 means you. 用心 literally means using one's heart to do something for someone. Here it refers to the effort the man made to show his affection for the woman. So we translate it as love. 如 means like. 日 means sun. 月 means moon. 是 means trait. 夫 means husband. 是 means vow. 你 means plan. 同 means together. 生 means live. 死 means die. So the 2 lines can be translated as, bright as the sun and moon, your love to me. Faithful to my husband should I be. 还君明珠双泪垂，恨不相逢未嫁时。还 means return. 君 means your. 明珠 refers to the pearl. 双 means twin. 泪 means tear. 垂 means running. 恨 means regret. 不 means not. 相逢 means meet. 未 means not yet. 嫁 usually is translated as marry. The Chinese characters for marry are different for man and woman. 嫁 is the character for a woman to marry, while 娶 is the character for a man to marry. As you can see, these are 2 completely different characters with different meanings and cultural significances. The usage of these 2 characters implies the political hierarchy in a marriage. The character of 嫁 is a combination of the characters of 女 meaning daughter and 家 meaning home. 嫁 means a woman goes to her husband's home. This means The true home of a woman is the home of her husband. This is why the daughters were often not listed as family members in the family tree records during Imperial China, while the daughter's in-laws were listed in her husband's family tree records. The character of marry for a man, 娶, is the combination of the characters of 娶, meaning take, and 女, meaning daughter. So 娶 literally means to take a woman home. I guess this meaning is also implied in the wedding in the West, where the daughter is given away to her husband by her father or brother at her wedding. Either way, it is the man who takes the woman. So the Chinese language just made this implication explicit and built such culture and political significance into the language itself. That is why you often hear about leftover women in Chinese, but not that often about leftover men in Chinese. Because the men are supposed to make the action of taking the women, so the women who were not taken were the leftover women. The unmarried men were often referred as 光棍 in Chinese, which literally means a naked stick, meaning that he has nothing attached to his person. This phrase has something to do with the imageries of the family tree, where each boy was a branch of the family tree that is supposed to grow more branches by getting married and produce more sons, hence more branches. A naked branch is a dead end for the family tree, so 光棍 is an insulting word for a man. So this is the culture meaning about the two characters 嫁 and 娶 for marry in Chinese. That's quite a bit of detail. Now let's go back to the poem. So 时 is time. So the two lines can be translated as retaining the pearls with tears running, why not meet before my wedding? This poem can be read as a love poem and is translated as such most of the time. However, it is quite puzzling to read it as a love poem. For instance, the poem expresses conflicting emotions back and forth several times. The lady makes it clear that she is married in the very first line of the poem, but she accepts the gift and even cherishes the pearl by tying them to her silk coat. Then she changes her tone, boasting how grand her house is, and how important her husband is, and how much she loves her man that only death will part them. However, she also said that she is touched by the tender affection of this other man, and only in the final couplet that she returns the gift, but claiming that she would have reciprocated his affection if only they met before her wedding. She seems indicating that she has feelings for this other man and regrets that she has married to her husband. It seems it is rather odd that this poem has the title of the reply of a chaste wife. If she regrets that she did not meet this other man before her wedding, is she really a chaste wife? However, once you know when and why this poem was composed, all this back and forth of the conflicting emotions expressed in the poem would suddenly make sense. We can start with the title of the poem. If we translate the title literally, it reads like this: 劫富吟，寄东平李司空师道. A song by a chaste wife sent to Grand General Li Shidao at Dongping. So, who is this Grand General Li Shidao? Why was Zhang Ji sending a love poem to him, declining a romantic gesture? Even more strange, why was Zhang Ji assumed a woman's voice? From the few gay love poems I read so far, the poets who composed gay love poems were often quite explicit that the poem was meant for a gay romance. They would not assume the voice of a woman as in this poem. So the poem was not meant to be a gentle decline of romantic pursuit of a man by another man. So, what is the poem about, if not for romantic love? Well, let me first tell you who this Li Shidao was. Li Shidao was the Governor General of Pinglu Zhiqing, located at today's Shandong province near the Yellow Sea around 806 to 815 AD. He sent a formal invitation to Zhang Ji to work for him. During the Tang Dynasty, a governor-general of a region had almost complete power in terms of tax collection, raising an army, and appointing all the officials in his court. I have posted a video clip about how powerful a governor-general was during the later years of the Tang Dynasty, especially those defending the frontiers. Li Shidao was one such governor-general. After the Anlusan rebellion, the Tang emperors had realized the serious threat posed to the central government by these governor-generals. So the then Emperor Li Shi was trying to reduce the governor-general's power, and many of the scholar officials supported such policy. Han Yu was one such official. So, when Zhang Ji received the invitation from Li Shidao as a disciple of Han Yu, he could not possibly accept the offer. However, given how powerful Li Shidao was, Zhang Ji could also not just reject his offer because Li could easily destroy his career or even murder him or his family. Li Shidao was a ruthless and violent man. In 815, Li Shidao sent assassins to murder Premier Wu Yuanheng and the Auditor General on their way to the imperial palace on the main street because both of them supported the emperor to cut down the power of the governor-generals. Wu was killed on the spot, and Pei was seriously wounded but survived because he fell into the ditch by the street. We can imagine if Zhang Ji offended Li Shidao, who knows what Li would do. This is why Zhang Ji was so careful to not offend him. As we can see in this poem, he even took the woman's voice to assume a submissive posture. Zhang Ji did everything possible to show how grateful and flattered he was by the offer and how much he regretted that he could not serve him, while at the same time, Zhang Ji also declared his commitment and loyalty to the emperor and that he would rather die than leaving his current position. It was reported that Li Shidao was quite touched by the poem and took the rejection without being offended. Zhang Ji's decision turned out to be a very smart one. In 818 AD, Li Shidao rebelled against the central government and was murdered by one of his subordinate generals, and the head of Li Shidao and his son were sent to the capital and displayed on the city gate. Today, it might be quite hard for us to imagine declining a job offer could carry such serious consequences. But if you recall what had happened in the former Soviet Union, To choose the wrong boss might cost not just one's own life, but also those close to them. Phew! I'm so happy. I'm so happy we are living in a rather civil society. Taking or rejecting a job offer might still have some impact on our lives, but it certainly will not be a life or death decision. If you're new to my channel, please check out my other videos on classical Chinese poetry, philosophies, or medical literature. If you like the content of these videos, please click the like button and subscribe my channel. I also offer one-to-one online lessons on these subjects. If you would like to read the original text with me, please contact me. Here's my email address. Well, thank you for watching my video. I'll see you next time.